Okay, good morning. Hopefully, we're all here. Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Jez, VP of Sales at Space Manager, and I'm joined by Tom, our Managing Director.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to the first of what will be a quarterly cadence of webinar sessions designed to keep you informed of everything that's going on at Space Manager. Do bear with us. It is the first. It's highly likely there'll be some fun and games as we go through this, but we will do our very best. Today's session is really about where we're taking Space Manager platform and how we're continuing to evolve it to support our customers. One of the strongest themes we've heard over the last year or so, Tom and I being in the business, and particularly through conversations at the SSA conference in Telford this year, is around modernization. Our customers want the same operational depth and capability they've always relied on from Space Manager, but delivered through a more modern platform. They want easier access, better integrations, more automation, improved customer self-service, and less reliance on managing IT infrastructure themselves. So those conversations have directly influenced the investments we've made across the platform so far. So today we'll look at why we've invested in cloud, how the platform has evolved, what we're building through Spaceman Ops and Spaceman Shop, and where we're heading next. And we'll also show a little interactive preview of Spaceman Ops, and then leave plenty of time at the end for some questions. There is a Q&A function, so feel free to use that as we go through. We've structured the session into three main sections. First, looking at why we've invested so heavily in cloud and the benefits that it's delivering to customers today, and then we'll look at the evolution of the platform, where we've come from, where we are today, and where we're heading next, which Tom will tell you more about. As part of that, there'll be the interactive walkthrough of Spaceman Ops towards the end.
Perfect. I think just from my perspective, I think the question that I really had an impact on me at the SSA was someone walked up to me and went, what is the cloud and why should I care? And I really want our customers to try to hopefully understand what we're doing and understand why it would be a benefit to them and their business. So this is the first attempt at that. So really keen for your thoughts after the presentation as to whether it does echo with where you're trying to take your business, what you're trying to do with Space Manager, and whether it's answered some of those questions as to what we're doing and how it benefits you.
So before we talk about products and roadmaps, it's just worth spending some time talking about why we've invested so heavily in cloud. For us, cloud isn't simply a hosting model. It's the foundation that allows us to modernize the platform in the areas that our customers are asking to focus on, whether that's easier access, better integrations, improved customer journeys, faster delivery of new functionality, or reduced infrastructure overhead. Cloud enables us to deliver those things more effectively. So it's not the destination, but it's the platform that allows us to continue evolving the customer experience. One of the questions we often hear is whether customers still want to be responsible for servers and infrastructure. For some customers, the answer is yes. I'm sure there are some of you amongst us here today, but increasingly we're hearing that customers want us to take that responsibility away entirely. They want software that just works. So that's one of the biggest drivers behind cloud. Historically, software ownership means managing servers, upgrades, backups, and maintenance. And with Spaceman Cloud, that responsibility moves to us. So we manage the hosting, we manage your backups, we manage your updates, and we manage your security. And your teams then can access the platform through a browser from wherever they happen to be sitting. That really means for most customers, you're spending less time managing systems and more time focusing on customers and ops. That's all right.
I was going to say as well, we didn't lay this out. It is our first webinar. There should be a Q&A button for all of you on the screen. So if you do want to submit a question, please do. It will then be curated by ourselves, and we'll try to answer them at the end of the session. If we don't answer your question in the webinar, we'll follow up via email with you so that you get an answer regardless. So yeah, do please feel free to ask questions as this presentation continues. Sorry, back to you, Jez.
Yeah, move us on. So another area where customer expectations have evolved significantly is integrations. We know we've had huge flexibility in how we've approached things with the sort of legacy XML API approach. But today's self-storage businesses rely on more connected systems than ever before. So websites, CRMs, payment platforms, access control, accounting software, reporting tools, to name a few, your expectation is that those systems work together seamlessly. So that's why we're investing heavily in Spaceman Hub, which Tom will talk about a little bit later, and our modern REST API framework. It will allow us to create a more open platform. It will make integrations easier to build and maintain, whether that's things we're doing or whether you're doing those things, and it provides the foundation for future innovation. And most importantly, it will give you a lot more flexibility in how you connect with Space Manager and the wider systems that you rely on day to day. Cloud fundamentally changes how the software evolves. So rather than having to wait for major release cycles, we're going to be able to deliver improvements continuously. That means new functionality can be delivered faster. It means enhancements and product improvements can reach customers sooner. And those improvements become part of an ongoing cycle rather than just a periodic upgrade project, which is traditional in on-premise systems. Cloud will also allow us to respond more effectively and more quickly to customer feedback. When we see common requests or recurring support themes, we're able to prioritize those improvements and then deliver them more quickly. And so the result of that is that the platform will evolve more quickly and deliver value to you sooner.
I think the other interesting piece there is the development methodology, right? We're moving from what I'd call waterfall development, where a feature is designed and built in isolation of the customer base that's going to use it, and then released every 3 to 6 months for feedback to then be fed into a feature that's finalized. What we're moving to now is an agile development methodology where we release features and product every 2 to 4 weeks. And what you do with that method is you will build to a minimum viable standard. So you get customers using and engaging with the features that you're building, and you incrementally improve that functionality as it's used and as you get customers buying into that feedback loop and continuously improving the product. So it's a slight change in what you'll expect from us and what you'll get from us, as well as features and functionality are released, because you might get something and go, okay, this is useful, but it doesn't do X, Y, and Z. That's great. Let us know. That'll be fed back into the roadmap. We'll prioritize it based on where requests are coming from, and we will make changes quickly to the product and improve the product quickly. Back to you, Jez.
Yeah. So it sort of brings us to the key strategic decisions that we've made. Innovation is being built on the cloud platform. It's not because we're replacing what's come before. It's because the cloud provides the foundation that allows us to deliver the experiences that customers are increasingly asking us for. So that's modern UI, modern user interfaces, that's improved accessibility to the product itself. It's better customer journeys for your customers, and it's better and greater connectivity to your tech stack. So the first examples of that investment are in Spaceman Ops and Spaceman Shop, which are applications that are designed specifically around the way operators and customers work today. Everything that we're discussing so far comes back to a pretty simple objective. How do we continue modernizing the platform whilst we preserve the operational depth and reliability that customers already depend on and that Space Manager has been known for 30 or so years? The answer isn't replacing what's working, it's evolving it. So the roadmap we're about to show you now is the story of how we've taken the foundations of Space Manager and are building the next generation of capabilities on top of them. And I'll hand over to Tom here to run through that.
Perfect. Thanks, Jez. I sometimes confuse people when I talk about this. So again, please engage with the Q&A functionality. I've tried to make this as clear and simple as possible, but I'll outline our strategy, where we're taking the product and what it means for you. So this is where most of our customers are now. So they will use the Spaceman desktop application installed locally on a machine or server within their own infrastructure. Many of our customers will then use XML procedures and database procedures to build bespoke integrations with third-party applications and web applications. What that means in practice for most of our customers is you will have connected your marketing website where you take your bookings to Space Manager, and you will have connected other third-party applications to your customer data in Space Manager to manage things like marketing and communications, so email, SMS, text, etc. The way that the connections are built at the moment between your on-premise Spaceman system and third-party applications are infinitely extendable, but they're not, the connections haven't been built in a standard pattern using modern API frameworks, which means that those integrations can be more unreliable, can be harder to maintain, and can be slower to build. So what we want to move to, rather than having an on-premise solution that sits locally connected to third party with legacy connectors, is a space where everything sits in the cloud, but critically you retain your original desktop environment. So if you are a super user of Space Manager and you have customized it and you are benefiting from all the configurability, all of the custom scripting, custom reporting, that is kept intact as you migrate to the cloud. So that the migration is really quite seamless when you're migrating from on-premise to the cloud, and isn't going to be that disruptive to your business at all. And we'll talk more about that later. So if we're keeping the current application that you are using, but moving it into the cloud, how then are you going to benefit from moving to the cloud? What does it mean for you? What we're doing to make this transition seamless and to build on top of functionality that we already have is we are building what we're calling Spaceman Hub, which is a modern API layer between the Spaceman desktop application, now hosted in the cloud, and native web applications, whether they're our own applications or applications developed by your teams or third parties. And our core focus is, at the moment, building out those modern APIs to connect with two key applications. One of them is Spaceman Ops, and that is a modern web application that you can use in any browser that allows your store managers to carry out day-to-day tasks within Space Manager. Oh, sorry. Where was I? One of the key pieces of feedback we're getting from customers is, our store manager workforce tends to be on the younger side. We want to onboard them as quickly as possible. We want them adding value to our business as quickly as possible. At the moment, the legacy look and feel of Space Manager puts those younger recruits off from learning the system and makes the onboarding journey harder. What we're trying to do, therefore, as a priority, is provide you with a modern user interface, user experience to carry out core tasks in Spaceman Ops. The other products are Shop and Portal. I think of them as one product really, and that is for customers of ours who don't have their own bespoke online bookings portal. You can use Shop. It integrates seamlessly with Space Manager, and you can use Portal. Shop allows you to take those bookings online. It allows you to surface your units, your pricing, your discounts. It allows you to take contract signatures seamlessly online and take payments seamlessly online through Stripe. And we also have upcoming further functionality like Stripe ID. And then the portal is, once a customer has finished their booking, is then being able to log in and view their booking, view where their site is in the building, where their unit is in the building, sorry, being able to change their payment method, etc. So providing all of the information that customers would historically potentially have called you up for now giving that information to them easily, seamlessly through a web portal. Jez, I can see we've got some questions. If any of those are questions that are worth answering now, do just interrupt me. So with Spaceman Shop, so with Spaceman Ops, the focus is, as I said, it's on 3 core aspects of day-to-day management for a store manager that we're focusing on. Being able to seamlessly and easily through a web interface create a customer record, update a customer record, link that customer to a new contract, and then when the time comes to vacate that customer's contract and unit. So these are, again, core pieces of functionality that we'd expect day-to-day stuff, not super users of Space Manager, to be able to carry out seamlessly using our web product. So again, you start to see a natural split that's happening here in our product that we hope works for our customers, where you retain the heavy configurability and customization of our existing application, and your super users can continue interacting with that. So if you want to customize pricing, if you want to customize the look and feel of your contracts, if you want to customize reporting, you continue interacting with the Spaceman desktop application. However, if you're a day-to-day store manager or store staff member, you can interact with the web application to carry out those day-to-day tasks. And over time, what we will do is we will move functionality from the desktop application into the web application, modernizing the user experience and the user interface as we do so. With Spaceman Shop, the product is already live and being used by customers to take online bookings. And we've started that agile development feedback loop that I talked to you about earlier. So customers have gone live on the platform. One of the first things that they've mentioned is we want to be able to display a variety of discounts and insurance methods and patterns to our customers in the desktop. So our focus at the moment in the development team is catering to those different discount patterns. We're also integrating additional payment methods. So we integrate with Stripe at the moment. We are going to be integrating with Go Cardless. We're going to be adding Stripe ID. But Spaceman Shop is a pretty feature complete product and is adding value to our customers today. As we do all of that, we're enriching the Spaceman Hub product, the API product that our customers can use. So the discounts, for example, we're adding a number of endpoints for discounts to allow for discount functionality in Spaceman Shop. Our intention in the medium to longer term is all of those endpoints will be accessible to our customers who also may want to do their own flavor of discounting and their own flavor of integration with Spaceman Shop, and they'll be doing so through a far more modern, far better documented set of APIs.
Tom, there are a couple of questions. I think from Bryn and Stuart, perhaps we'll deal with those at the end quickly. Sebastian has asked, will we see the product today? Tom's about to show you Spaceman Ops. There's a bit of an interactive preview of the concept work that we've done. We won't deep dive into a full product demonstration. There's only so much time in the day that we've all got and that you would want to sit on. But we will be posting in the chat in a bit a form for you to complete, and we will do live product demonstrations with anybody who wants to see them. So hopefully that answers that question for you, Sebastian. And Bryn and Stuart will come back to yours towards the end if that's okay.
But thank you for the questions. Keep them coming. All right, so Spaceman Ops. As I said, there are 3 key features that we are looking to build this year and having customer hands this year: customer management, contract management, and contract vacation. Our understanding, and I want you guys to push back on this if you don't agree, is if we can get you in a modern web interface, managing customer records, adding actions and notes against them, managing the associated contracts and vacating the associated contracts, that gets us to a point where a significant chunk of your team can feasibly use the web application and gain value from it. And that is a viable minimum set of features that you would benefit sufficiently from to justify moving from or part of your team from the desktop application to the web application. So again, I'm really keen for feedback on that and your thoughts on that. So what I'm going to show you now is, as I said, the work on our APIs is well advanced. The work on the Spaceman Ops web application is also well advanced. This is a design exercise from one of our newly hired UI UX designers on the team, who's come in to work with us to modernize the platform or modernize the look and feel of it. So let me stop sharing my screen and share my whole screen. All right. Can you guys see that? Jez, can I get a hands up from you? I can't see anyone else's face. Yes, I got a hands up from Abby in marketing. So this is a design mockup. It's not live code. I may embarrass myself as I click through this because it may do unexpected things. But again, we wanted to share the journey that we're on with you guys, and we also wanted to invite you to provide feedback. So this is generally the design language that we want to go for. This is the customer view. And you'll be able to do a lot of the things that you currently do in Space Manager, but in a far simpler, far more modern way. So this is where I would come to search for a customer. And when I click into a customer record, what we've tried to do is take the various different views that you would have to click through in Space Manager and bring them all together on one page in one easy to use interface, so that the information that you're using the most frequently in order to be able to provide effective customer service is all presented in one location. So again, one key thing here is we are speaking to customers regularly, and we're speaking to customers more than we've ever done so before, but we may have made incorrect assumptions here. So if you see on this screen or other screens as I click through key pieces of information that you would use relating to delivering customer service on this view, or do you expect to see here, then please let us know. And also, we'd love to hear from you if you would be happy to engage with our development team, our product management team, who's designing this through the course of it. Because what we'd love to do is just really keep building on the dialogue that we're having with our customers as we build this. But so, as I said here, the idea is we are presenting the most useful information first and foremost on the page, so that your team members don't have to click through too many things. So we can see here we have key warnings. We can view recent activity against a profile, and we can also log new activity. So if I've just had a phone call with a customer, I can log a note against that customer profile easily, and when I come back to it, I'll be able to see it in the recent activities tab. We've got the customer details very easily visible, and any contracts that they have are also very, very easily visible. Again, this is a mock-up, but if I were to click into the rentals tab, what we're aiming to have here is a summary of contracts, reservations, and quotes. And again, all of this will be interactive. You'll be able to click into it and get more details. We're also, as you can see, playing with colors and iconography to make the status and urgency of different pieces of information as easy as possible to understand, so that your team again can work as seamlessly and easily as possible. I think that's it in terms of what I wanted to show you for the new designs. Again, if you want to feed into the process, if you want to see more of this, please do reach out to us. And we are expecting to accelerate the development of all of this functionality massively over the next few months. What we spent a large amount of time up until now doing is A, hiring the team, so hiring the designer that built this, and then B, laying down the foundations for what's needed, so that the API framework as well as the design language that we wanted to adopt for the product. Let me stop sharing my screen. Jez, any questions you want to throw in at this stage? Oh, you're muted. So
yeah, that would make it a bit easier. Alan's asked about when will RESTful APIs be available. Perhaps you can quickly answer that before we press on with the main presentation.
So I think it will be at the first half of next year. They'll be available to third parties. We might be able to make them available sooner, but Alan, let's pick that up. Two of us, I think. Yeah.
I think, yeah, I can deal with Bryn's question very quickly. The cloud-based system, the question is, will it allow invoices to be sent by email? Yeah, the answer is yes, and we can pick up afterwards if that's not happening at the moment, Bryn. I know we spoke just the other day, so we can pick that up and look at how you're building things at the moment to make sure that's working for you. Stuart, this is a more technical question. Let's just deal with these now. It's a nice place to pause and answer some questions. Do we support single sign-on? Tom, that's probably one for you to answer as well.
Yeah, the answer is we support Microsoft and Google single sign-on at the moment. Esther, jump in and interrupt me if I'm lying. But when I log into my cloud test system, I use Microsoft, and I know that we support Google as well.
Perfect. Let us move on a little and get through some of the rest. There's not too much to go. But thanks, Tom, for going through that. I hope that gives everyone a better feel for the direction that we're taking with operator experience. Ops is focused on operators and staff, and then obviously shop is focused on the customer journey. So we've had a lot of feedback around modernization, reducing the manual administration, and improving the online features. And just on shop, this is, I suppose, core to the customer journey side of things. It creates, as it stands now, a fully connected online booking experience. So customers can browse units, they can make payments, they can digitally sign documentation, and they can manage their relationship with your business through that seamless online journey. And what that means for you is fewer manual processes and less administration. Tom's already alluded to this. So it's a smoother customer onboarding experience for you. But we're not satisfied with where it is right now. We want to keep pushing. So we're continuing to invest heavily in this area. And that will, towards the end of this year, include direct debits, ID verification, and additional self-service capabilities. So the more feedback we get on this, the quicker we're able to iterate as we go along. The big question, of course, is around how do we get there? So the good news is we've developed, certainly over the last 12 months, a proven onboarding process, and we've got growing numbers of customers successfully operating on the cloud platform. The focus is operational continuity. So we want to minimize the disruption that goes on, and Tom again spoke about that a little earlier. The reason for keeping that core desktop experience that you've got at the moment is to protect your existing workflows, which have been the core of your processes to date, and we want to help you move at a pace that suits your business. So it's not a one-size-fits-all process. So we have to work very closely with every customer individually to make sure that the journey is successful, because everybody has been built differently over time. And crucially, just he's not with us today, sadly, but we have brought on a new senior hire to own this. So Gareth Rees has joined our team as VP of Customer Success, and he will be leading on these projects. I know he is very keen to speak to as many customers as possible to understand how we can support this, not just for the purpose of cloud, but generally in terms of customer success and the approach that we take to everything related to migration, onboarding, and support services. So I hope you'll all welcome Gareth when you get the chance, and if anybody would like to arrange to speak to him directly, then he'd be very keen to make contact. And then finally, I guess we're on to questions. I'll just finish by saying the strongest messages we've heard from customers over the last 12 months or so is a desire for a more modern platform, without losing the operational capability that they rely on today. That's challenging, but it's definitely achievable, and we've made huge steps already that we're focused on delivering exactly that through cloud, hub, ops, and shop being the core parts of that journey. So we're really excited about what we're building, and we're looking forward to continuing that journey with our customers. So thank you for joining us today. Abby's going to put a link in the general chat, which is just to a form. So if you'd like to arrange, whether that's a product demonstration, whether that's just a general conversation, or some form of account review, if you've not already had one of those with myself and or Tom, we'd be really keen to come back and chat further with you in more detail. And for those people who are asking about product demonstrations, of course, we would be very happy to deliver that as well to you. So do fill out a form and let us know. We'll be in contact shortly. I'm going to stop there and open things up a little for any questions.
I've had a look at them, Jez. If you want me, I don't know if you have as well,
so,
but
Tom, you go for it. I've not looked whilst I was talking.
Yeah, I think Christine has asked a fair question. So, what will the current version of the product still be supported? The short answer is yes. The longer answer is it's my job, it's Jez's job, it's everyone's job at Space Manager to provide enough features and functionalities to the cloud product to make it a no-brainer, really, for you to want to move to the cloud. And we think that we have a lot of stuff already there and in our roadmap that will make it a very, very compelling product moving forwards. I think I also, my job's also to be transparent and honest with our customers. At the moment, there are no plans to discontinue support for the old application. But as you look at technology, we did at one point years ago have an MS-DOS version of Space Manager. That no longer exists and is no longer supported. At some point in time, it will no longer make sense for us as an organization or for our customers for us to keep supporting an on-prem version of the product. But at the moment, there are no timelines or plans to do so. Bryn, you ask, is the recent activity on a contract client a manual feature, or are there also entries from the payment systems? There will also be, so this, I think you're talking about the mock-ups that I showed. The entries will come from the payment systems if you're integrated with the payment systems. Absolutely. How will so I think you've already answered that question, Jez, relating to invoices.
Yep.
We've answered the question relating to SSO. Okay. I'm not seeing any additional questions.
You might need to refresh. There's one from Mark. Who hosts the infrastructure? What is the SLA and uptime target?
Yep. So the infrastructure at the moment is hosted by a partner called IQX. They use a cloud infrastructure provider called OVH. We are targeting, I can't remember what we're targeting off the top of my head, but I think it's 99% uptime. And in terms of SLAs, I think I'd want to jump on a call with you, Mark, to understand whether you mean support SLAs, program SLAs, recovery SLAs, because there are a number of ones, and I don't know them all off the top of my head, but we can definitely have that conversation. Shall I refresh I don't know if I can refresh.
Yeah, I found logging out and logging back into the Q&A auto refreshed. Yeah. So we're learning as we go here.
Are there any plans to offer 7-day-a-week support? Not at the moment, because that comes at a significant cost to our organization, and we would need to pass the cost on to customers. However, like everything, if we get enough demand for it and enough of our customers ask for it, then we can absolutely look to resource it.
I think on that as well, with cloud, supporting that becomes a lot easier. It becomes a little bit, it's very challenging with on-premise. to deliver that. The cost to us is significant. So in the cloud environment, it becomes easier for us to actually remotely connect to databases and do that from wherever that support team member might be. So it's probably easier to deliver something like that in a true SaaS environment than it is on premise. But yeah, I think we've not spoken about the knowledge base. Tom, maybe you want to say a little bit about the knowledge base we're building out as well, which won't help with technical challenges, but operational ones. The knowledge base will be able to contribute, I think.
Yeah, so going back to what Jez said earlier about the cloud, what we're able to do now through for our cloud customers and also through our ticketing system is we're able to identify clear patterns in what our customers are struggling with the most, whether it's through a lack of knowledge, the product being obtuse, or those are the two really. So what we are doing now with the analytics provided by our ticketing system and the analytics provided by our customers on the cloud is we are building out, not yet published, but building out a knowledge base of articles that will help our customers navigate the system and resolve issues themselves if they can. Yeah, happy with that.
More questions there if you've not refreshed.
Yeah,
I'll read them out as we go. Who we got?
Yeah.
Them?
So we've got so I've got one question from Matt, which is, will the new system be as customizable as the current Space Manager application? We currently do this via XML and woodpecker forms. Will there be a migration path? The short answer is yes. The longer answer is we should definitely have a follow-up conversation, Matt, because that will be provided through a framework that we need to develop in partnership with our customers, and I'd love you guys to be a part of the conversation.
Got a question from Bryn and Mikhail. Bryn, how do we limit the system so a client can only book or arrange a unit during operating hours? What does the potential customer see? That's a good question. I believe there are ways to lock down availability, but I will come back to you, Bryn, directly on that. I'm not 100% sure of what happens in the background, unless Tom, you know the answer to that.
I don't know the answer, but it's really interesting because when I've spoken to customers before, they've said to me, I've heard the use case of I want to be able to use the shop out of hours when I'm unable to answer the phone, but you're saying the opposite, Bryn, which is I only want to use the shop in hours and I want to use the phone out of hours. So that's quite interesting. I'm not sure we cater to it right now, but it's definitely feedback that we've had before.
And then Mikhail, can I block users to log in only from one IP address?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
We'll come back to you, Mikhail, on that.
Yeah.
IP lockdown is fairly normal in a SaaS environment, but that's perhaps a more technical question that we're not going to make a guess at. So we'll come back to you and confirm on that.
Okay. I think we've run slightly over time or just in time.
Yeah, just about.
If you have questions, as Jez said, our emails are on the screen. If you'd like to have a further conversation where we walk you through the product in more detail again, I believe Abby in the chat has shared a link where you can book some time with us, and we'll reach out very shortly. I really appreciate everyone's time today and engagement with the questions. It's been great. I look forward to doing more of these. And yes, please do reach out if you have any questions, any concerns, if you'd like to be a part of the conversations that our product management teams are having with customers as they're designing the product. We'd love to hear more from you. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye. We need a catchy Space Manager sign-off, Jez.